Hey everybody, Kyle Goth here from GoatFilmReviews.com and the Goat Film Reviews YouTube channel, and I've got my first reaction to the new film Despicable Me 4. This is the fourth installment in the Despicable Me series, as well as the sixth overall installment in the Minions verse, I guess you could call it. We last saw any of these characters during Minions: The Rise of Gru just a few years ago, and now we're basically following up the third Despicable Me film by showcasing Gru and his family going into hiding because they upset Maxine Lamal, voiced by Will Ferrell. He's a new addition to the film here. They have to go basically on the run undercover and hide from him because they're afraid that he will go out and hunt them down after being captured by Gru working for the Anti-Villain League. This movie feels to me a little bit wash, rinse, and repeat of the third film. You know, we're kind of just like, our villain of the week is here. It's a famous comic person voicing them. Shenanigans ensue. And I felt to me like there wasn't anything really new. None of our characters were evolving, learning anything new, experiencing anything that was going to change them. And that was kind of the wash, rinse, repeat of the whole film for me. So I was a little disappointed because I didn't really find most of it all that funny. I thought the idea of the Mega Minions, because, oh, I know, buddy. Because in the Mega Minions are basically taken away and working with Silas Ramsbottom while Gru and his family are in hiding, and the Minions experiment with all these things that turn them into superheroes. And I thought that was a kind of a clever way to kind of subvert the superhero genre and have a little bit of fun with it, because Universal doesn't really have a superhero franchise right now. And so I thought that was a clever idea, but they just don't do that much with it. It's kind of an aside. In fact, the entire movie felt like they took 95 minutes worth of Minions shorts, or like Despicable Me shorts, you know, and kind of took 90 minutes of those and then chopped them into pieces so that it felt like we were watching a narrative that lasted 95 minutes, but we were actually watching like 10 9-minute narratives that kind of took the entire film, and none of them they were mostly like cute little scenarios as opposed to being a full-fledged story. With any real stakes that felt exciting. And I kind of was just missing that throughout most of the movie. It's definitely inoffensive. I think if your kids drag you to this during July 4th weekend, I didn't hate the experience of watching it. I just felt the movie was mostly okay instead of actually being, well, good. So those are my thoughts on Despicable Me 4. I thought the voice cast was pretty solid, but unfortunately they're tethered to a movie that just isn't all that interesting. So let me know your thoughts down below when you see this film. It's unfortunate for me as a reviewer because there's 6 of these movies, and I gotta say, the 1-2 punch of Minions: Rise of Gru and this film being my least 2 favorite films in this franchise doesn't speak well for the future of it and where we're gonna see them go next. So I'm really hoping that the next time we see the Minions is something a little bit more interesting and exciting, because this film was fairly episodic and fairly underwhelming, I guess I would say. So yeah, let me know what you thought about the film down below. You know, there's only 6 of these movies, so go ahead and give me a rank of, hey, don't rub that microphone. Give me a ranking of the 6 films in this franchise as you have seen them. And let me know what you thought about Despicable Me 4 and what you'd like to see for a follow-up film. Thank you so much for joining me. You can find all of my film reviews over at GoatFilmReviews.com. You can follow me at Almighty Goatman on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, and Threads. You can find Goat Film Reviews on Facebook. You can watch my show Kyle and Nick on Film that I co-host with Nick Plotchuk from the St. Paul Filmcast. We have new episodes of that show every single week. You can also find more reviews of mine as well as other Minnesota film critics at the Minnesota Film Critics Alliance. There's a link for that as well as all the other things we talked about down in the description of this video. Go ahead and like and subscribe. They're 2 free things you can do that help to support the channel immensely, and you never miss new episodes of the show as they drop. As you can see here, we've got a little bit of a new layout here. I'm moving my office from one portion of my home to another, so you're going to see some changes in the background over the next couple of weeks as I hopefully get a stand for my microphone to bring you more discussion about movies. Thank you so much for joining me, and we'll see you next time.